Back on Get Up, and the news yesterday was exactly what we feared it was going to be. Superstar Celtics forward Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a ruptured right Achilles tendon after suffering that injury late in the fourth quarter of Monday's Game 4 loss to the Knicks. The team said the surgery was a success and that no timetable is available for his return. First and foremost, we all wish the very best to Jason Tatum, a brilliant player facing a difficult rehab. Now, as far as the series his team continues to play, here are some notes. The Celtics are 9-2, including playoffs this year, in games that Tatum didn't play. This includes one game, a playoff win against the Magic. Both those losses were also against Orlando. Worth noting, the only playoff teams that Boston played without Tatum were the Magic and the Pistons. And I will also add that without Tatum, the Celtics are favored by 4.5 points in tonight's Game 5 at home. They're obviously significant underdogs to win the series. You see the Knicks are now minus 600 to advance to the conference final. But let's live in the moment, because you said yesterday, if you were a leader on this team, you wouldn't be talking about coming back and winning the series. You'd be talking about coming back one game at a time. How do we win one game? So I need specifics. What is the one thing the Celtics need tonight at home to force a Game 6?
I mean, I think everybody knows it. You need Jaylen Brown to be that Eastern Conference MVP, Jaylen Brown that he was last year. He needs to average 30. He needs to shoot 50% from the field, 37% from three. On the defensive end, like he did in the finals, taking the challenge against Luka, he needs to set the tone. And Jason Tatum was their best rebounder. He's got to go up there. He's got to get in traffic. He's got to bring it down. He's got to lead the charge. On offense, I'm looking for him to not go against those other guys. He's not going against OG. You don't want to go against Bridges. You want to go against Hart. You want to hunt that matchup against Brunson. You want to hunt that matchup against Cat. When you get those other guys, you get 2 feet in the paint. He said himself, I am the best in this league at getting 2 feet in the paint. So when you have those matchups against those other guys, it is imperative you get 2 feet in the paint and make the game easier for other guys.
It's on Jaylen Brown, says UG. What do you think?
I mean, look, this is always a team effort. Porzingis has to be great. Drew Holiday has to knock down shots. But this comes back to the $300 million man, UD, that you just spoke about, right? This is a soul check. Yes. You know, this is a character audit. So, you know, you get your team to this position. It's time to prove that, yo, I am that guy. And he has to be. There's no other option, Greeny, for it tonight.
Winman, I was busy yesterday. We had the Disney up front and everything, so I came across my screen that you had said something about how the Celtics are definitely not out of this at this point. For the audience that didn't get a chance to see it, and that would include me, what exactly is it you said, and what exactly is it you think about this series going to Game 5?
By the way, I disagree that the Knicks are the underdog tonight. I think the Knicks are the favorite tonight. They're 5-0 on the road, and they're losing their offensive, leading offensive engine for the Celtics. I'm just saying the series is not over, and I think the Knicks would agree with me. Of course, the series is not over. The Celtics are a championship team. What I think Boston needs tonight, other than Jaylen Brown having a big game, they need to somehow reanimate Kristaps Porzingis. This guy is a huge factor against the Knicks during the regular season. He's had this illness. It's been a factor. He's only averaging 5 points a game and shooting 29% in the series. But he did play 24 minutes in Game 4, an indication that he is getting his legs back from underneath him. Maybe he's not going to be capable, but they have to explore that facet of their offense. They're going to need scoring. The Knicks have been routinely playing from behind in Boston and coming back. I think their strategy changes a little bit tonight as well. I don't think they have to play for the last 5 minutes. I think they can attack Boston early, especially if they've got some uncertainty.
But to be clear, there's one other thing that I saw you'd said that I agreed with, that for those of us who've covered this team, the Celtics, in recent years, they tend to sometimes lose when you think they should win and win when you think they should lose.
Especially at the end of playoff series. Ask UD all about that. I saw him behind 3-0 in a series to the Heat and thought they were cooked and watched him win the next 3 games. I've seen him win Game 7s on the road and lose Game 7s at home. So this is a team that has shown that it can rise above at times. It also is a team that can disappoint. Well, now is the time where they have to rise above without their leader.
Hey, just on the Porzingis note, I get it. The health is a major thing for him to do, especially with his minutes he's allowed to log on the court. But he is the one X factor in a lot of those ball screens, too, and how they guard Jalen Brunson. It's different, and we'll show video eventually when you have Al Horford out there on screens, and that's who Jalen Brunson is targeting, especially when they switch on the perimeter. When you have a 7-foot unicorn that can play off of him, that even if he gets by him, you're still worried about him coming over the shoulder in the rear view, but also can contest your shot late if he gets in an ISO situation. situation.
You know he likes to create that contact with the bigs. He can create that contact against Porzingis all he wants, but he's not finishing over 7'3".
No.
He's not finishing over that.
Yeah, I mean, Porzingis is I called him last year, he was the cheat code. When again, that was with a healthy Jason Tatum. That obviously changes the complexion of literally everything in the series. But yes, if Porzingis is able to look something more like himself, that would make a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, April 8th in the Garden. 34 points, 8 for 13 from 3. Coming back in the finals last year, 21 points in 23 minutes. He has the ability to do that, and he's a matchup problem no matter what you do. On the perimeter, he shoots a three steps from behind the line at 7-3, and in the paint, he goes for it.
Can I just tell you guys why I'm so excited about tonight? It's such a soul check.
Ooh.
It's a soul check for the New York Knicks, where they can grab the soul of the Boston Celtics on their home court, where they are undefeated, and say, it's over, Jalen Brunson, closing time, or we get a chance to watch Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, Joe Mazzulla try to find a way to continue to scratch and claw for it back at home where they haven't won a game yet.
A little later in the morning, we'll talk about what might be at stake in the long run for the Celtics as well. And, of course, the Knicks can punch a ticket to the Eastern Conference Final for the first time in essentially a quarter century. Much more.
Yeah, this is just devastating on so many different fronts. Obviously, the Celtics were already in trouble in this series. They were going to lose Game 4 no matter what. So they would have been facing a 3-1 deficit. But now without Tatum, they don't have their offensive leader. They are going to have to get more offense from somewhere else. That obviously can come from Jaylen Brown. But also, I think Kristaps Porzingis, who coming off that illness, he's only averaging 4 points a game in the series. He's a complete offensive difference maker for them. They have to try to see if he can give them more tonight. But beyond this season, the Celtics are facing a payroll of approaching $500 million, including luxury taxes, and a new ownership. And it's unclear what that new owner's plans are, especially if Tatum misses most or all of next season.
For what it's worth, from the Department of take it for what it's worth, right? 8-2, the Celtics without Tatum in the lineup this season. Not saying, just saying. Meanwhile, New York, talk about the numbers. They invested in Mikal Bridges in the offseason. How do you see that paying dividends so far here, Brian?
Well, let me ask you this. The draft order is now set that the first 2 picks that the Knicks sent in Brooklyn will fall at numbers 19 and 26 in this upcoming draft. Do you think the Knicks regret it? They do not right now. Mikal Bridges has been a defining player in this series. I know Jalen Brunson has gotten a lot of attention for his heroics in the late game, and absolutely he should. But Mikal Bridges has been the absolute offensive engine in the fourth quarters of games 2 and 4. Those 2 huge moments for the Knicks where they're able to come back and get victories. Bridges, especially being effective offensively when Brunson has been able to rest on the bench, giving him the ability to come back in with a little more energy. And then obviously he's been a defensive playmaker at the end of a couple of these games. This has been a breakout series for Bridges as a Knick.
We knew the Jalen Brunson game was coming in this series here, Brian, going for darn near 40 points the last time out. How sustainable do the Knicks feel like Brunson's sort of offensive awakening will be here as they can close this series out?
They are going as far as Jalen Brunson can take them, and that strategy has been a winning strategy for them going forward, and they've been terrific on the road. Brunson is not afraid to deliver in road arenas. I